Well, let me say a wonderful good afternoon from Single Monrovia, Liberia. Wherever you are following this broadcast, this is African Actions Network 2A Radio TV based in the USA. And today we are in the Sinker City, Monrovia, Liberia, wherein we are getting reactions from the recent resignations of three officials of the George Weah led administration. You can recall that just within a month period, it has been so dramatic in Liberia politically, wherein the U.S. Treasury State Department issued sanction on the three officials, namely the managing director of the National Port Authority, Bill Torrey, the Minister for Presidential Affairs, the administrative assistant, so to speak, to the President of the Republic of Liberia, Nathaniel Falomagio, and that of the Solicitor General and Chief Prosecutor of the Republic of Liberia, Seaman Serenan Cephas. They were sanctioned by the United States Treasury Department and subsequently suspended by the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Weah. Following the U.S. sanction on these three officials of government and the suspension by the President of the Republic of Liberia, there have been a lot of public outcries, ranging from dismissal to that of these officials being officially turned over to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission for investigation and, if found guilty, onward prosecution. And one of those institutions in Liberia that have been raising the red flag is the Regional Watch for Human Rights. A couple of weeks ago, they held a press conference and highlighted the need for the president to take stringent measures in ensuring that public officials that will be found in corrupt practices are brought to book. And according to the press released by the Regional Watch for Human Rights, the suspension by the president of those three public officials was not just sufficient, but just a couple of weeks after, just in the space of 12 hours, the three public officials that were sanctioned and subsequently suspended by the president of the Republic of Liberia tendered in their resignations letters. And so we are getting reactions from the public, and we cannot forget, however, to reach out to the Regional Watch for Human Rights that have been one of the organizations advocating vehemently to ensure that the president takes stringent measures aside suspension. And we are privileged again to have with us live on the platform this afternoon, Councillor Tola Thompson Adebaryor, an advocate and a long-time human rights fighter. And so let me say welcome, Councillor, and many thanks for affording us a chance to interact with you from the end of African Actions Network.
Yeah, thank you so much, and you're welcome.
And how is the Regional Watch for Human Rights?
Oh, well, we are here, we are doing our best. You know, it's our social responsibility as an institution in ensuring that things are put in proper place, that the rule of law continues to reign, rather than rule of fear.
Rule of law instead of rule of fear. Okay, let's.
Or reign of terror.
Reign of terror.
Reign of terror. Rule of law, rather than reign of terror or rule of fear. We are here.
Okay, thanks so kindly for honoring this impromptu interview, because we are getting reactions from the public, particularly organizations that have been highlighting the issue of the suspended, sanctioned and suspended officials. 9 they resigned. What is your own take about this resignation? Do you think in any way your advocacy of calling on the president of the Republic of Liberia to take stringent measures, do you think your advocacy really did materialize, because they did resign, but unlike what you were advocating for, they were not dismissed?
Oh, well, we have said what we should say. And we are still saying the same thing, that the people suspended of these corrupt practices, by the U.S. State Department Treasury under the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act. We are still saying that resignation of these people, followed by their suspension by the president, is not enough. We still maintain the same thing. They should be dismissed. And this dismissal should not be just a camouflage. That is to say that they must have their day in the court. The competent court of jurisdiction, they should have their day. And if they are convicted of these malpractices, all those ill-gotten, all those accumulated wealth that during this government, we say should be confiscated and turned over to Liberian people. We should not continue to do the thing the whole way. You cannot say, oh, this is how I do my things, then you expect a new thing to happen, new result. No, you have to change your attitude. Your way of thinking, your way of doing things needs to be changed. So in this process, we're not just saying that all the people have been dismissed, it should not finish. They should send them to court.
They did resign. They were not dismissed, as you were
advocating. Okay, yes, if they resign, it's not enough. Government should pursue them to the point of where they will be sent to court and try. When they try and they're convicted, that is when they're guilty of such, the property in questions that they acquire or accumulate during the period of time should be confiscated and taken to Liberian people. They should be Liberian property. We cannot continue to do things the whole way it is, not business as usual anymore. Otherwise, we'll not go anywhere in Liberia. And again, you know, when such action is taken by this government, automatically, I'll tell you, our Liberia as a nation will change. Because we send as a deterrent to others. Any government that comes thereafter will be afraid of them. People are watching me. And those people that in those days that involved this corruption, they were tried by the court of competent judicial in Liberia. They were guilty. And those property acquired at that time were considered and turned to Liberian people. So I should not do the same. That's why in this matter, I would want to challenge American government. The American government should, yes, we commend them for their effort, but they should not stop there. This issue of Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act should be implemented into letters. Now, anybody that fall under this should be tried. And any property acquired by such person should be confiscated and should be Liberian people property. That's what we are saying. So all that also has a deterrence. So now as we are driving closer to the election by next year, right? If these people that we're talking about are sent to court, are sentenced, and whatever property acquired, confiscated and sent to Liberian people, those people that are coming behind will not do the same. But what has happened to us in Liberia is what I call institutionalized culture of impunity. That's just it. All the things have been happening to us since our 14 years in war. Those are the byproduct of impunity in Liberia. These stealings that are happening in this government is a byproduct of the culture of impunity. If some of these are being tried, I sent to jail whatsoever, do you think this will happen? It will not happen. But now, if I allow these people again, so because they resign, they will forget about them. No, you can't forget about them. We have to send them to court. Let the court be able to refute this allegation. Let the court able to say, oh yes, the people are guilty or not guilty. So when they are guilty, what you guilty of should be taken away from you. It's not for you. You stole it. Give it back to Liberian people. Then coming behind, you'll be able not to say, no, I can't do the same thing. When they got me, all those things not for me. I stole it and take it away from me. But we'll continue doing a business as usual. It's dangerous. That's why I'm challenging America. The rest of the people that we found in this should be also be tried and take away the property that they acquire, he got in wealth. He should take it away from them and turn to Liberian people. And we are not going to rest. As you know, the Regional Watch for Human Rights, we are members of international human rights institutions. As a matter of fact, currently I'm the first president in West Africa, which is International Federation for Human Rights in Paris. You know, I just came in Paris for last month, right? I'm going back next month again. But we are celebrating our 100 years anniversary. 100 years. And I'm going to contest again for another election. We will make sure that things that are not in place are put in place. You know, for the past 3 decades now, this institution, we have been working, you know, assiduously, you know, in ensuring the rule of law, respect for human rights and dignity, you know, becomes the order of the day in our society. We are still there. We are still there. And we will continue to do that.
A couple of weeks ago, during your press statement to the public, you did call on the president to ensure that those officials are dismissed. Unlike your advocacy, they resigned individually. So do you think that the president still has the willpower, that political will, to have these folks prosecuted? Are you seeing that being possible?
For me, it must be as a result of the outcry of the people. It must be as a result of the allegation list against them. It must be some sort of pressure for someone made them to resign. But it's not enough.
Are you saying that they resigned as a result of pressure from an external force or what?
Oh yes, yeah. I want to see that. And I want to believe that Mr. President is aware of their resignations. It's what they discuss in the inner caucus. Because remember, this man, Tola Thompson, the presidential affairs minister, is like a secretary. He's like a second man in command in our nations. Do you think we'll go for it just like that? It's been discussed. It's pre-discussed among them. That resignation is not just willing something. Why President couldn't dismiss them as we asked him to do? Rather wait until they say we have resigned. No. So either resign or resign, we are still saying that they must be prosecuted. They must sign the court. That we still stand by it, and we continue to advocate for that until it happens. This national brand must change. How many years old? Oh, my brother, you know it. You must say, you know, before the war, we know what I've been going through. What caused our 15-year civil war in Nigeria? What could cause it? So as I said, all this corruption, nepotism, so many things that cause it. Corruption, nepotism, lack of human rights, lack of respect for mankind, all those things, lack of equal distribution of natural resources has been the positive element of our civil war. So we continue the same thing. Are we not going to learn anything? Why did we kill ourselves? And again, we kill ourselves for nothing. We do all those things. Still, no one person has been brought to book. And that is why this government also not working on. So we would allow these people off the hook without being brought to book, it will continue. Other presidents will come tomorrow, do the same thing or worse than that. When are we out of this trouble?
But that is a grave allegation that these public officials that resigned recently were pressured to resign from the office of the president. To some extent, you are saying that there was an in caucus meeting, as you said, that led to their resignation. Don't you think that they did this willingly because the resignation letters just came out to the public simultaneously?
That is why you have to believe it. Why did they come out simultaneously?
Why do I have to believe it? Because
why should they come out simultaneously? Well, it's been pre-discussed. They are looking for way out of this trouble.
Are you saying amongst the three, or are you saying with the head of state himself?
With the acquiescence of the president. The president is aware of it. I can tell you that. I'm telling you, you know, I know. People know that this man, Nathaniel Maggi, second in command, right? Isn't it? It is. Even this statement that he made in Bonkante, No, these are the things I think one of the things that exposed him and others. They are stealing, yeah, this and that, but they are putting it out in the country. When they are living here, we will not carry it, we will not carry it to America, we will do it right here, right? They are saying it. So why, if the president wasn't aware of all this, why did he not take action before that time? Why President Weir did not take action on that statement he made? That one also is an indictment. Indicted all of them, including the president himself. This will have been questioned for that before this America came out with this or something. So if America didn't come out with it, he would not say anything. Then you tell me, say that Resignations is not aware. He's aware. They discuss it. All of them, they discuss it. But we are saying whether they discuss or not discuss is not the issue. They must face justice. Yes. That's what we're looking for. That's what we stand for. That's what we want. It's not just enough that for their resignation. No.
But you have given a lot of instances that the president should have acted on some of the actions of these officials of government, but yet still he kept tight-lipped. Are you seeing the possibility of this advocacy reaching to a level where the president will say, look, let these guys have their day in court? Are you seeing this meeting fruition?
Well, we want to see it. We want to see it happen. To see and let these people go to court. Let people be prosecuted.
What is the possibility? Does the president have the political will to do that?
That is where the sadness will come. No, I read one book that says, because I am involved. That's the title of that book. I will not tell you the author. The title of the book is Because I Am Involved. He will not do it because he's involved. You understand what I'm saying?
You are pointing finger directly to the president.
This is the part of the corrupt practices. You know that. You know this. Well, in Morovia here, right? Well, like that. It's part of it. Let me friend. Let call a spade a spade. If we should move this nation forward, all of us will have to make adjustment. We have to get away from all these whole practices and get to the conventional way of doing things that will move the nation forward. That's the only way. You see what is happening in Liberia today? Well, even our July 26, you see how as if we are not even celebrating anything. So we cannot put any water on the fire for that day. You're here, right? The last year, July 26, the same thing. If it's possible for us to postpone our July 26, people will have come for us, let's postpone it. Because nothing else to celebrate. Nothing else to celebrate, nothing. Even food to eat, they can't get it. See the racism? I tell you, some people sleep hungry. School don't open, right? So many people are not able to go to school. Myself, not really kids my children. Can you imagine? But why? You know, let's be very sincere. The nation of Liberia is a rich country. Liberia is a very rich country. It's not an exaggeration. Not exaggeration. That Liberia is a rich country. You know this. Frankly speaking, Liberia is one of the richest countries if we handle it well. So it is about the time we have to do something right now. Now.
We have to do something now.
Yes.
Okay, amongst the resignation letters, one have been circulating widely on social media and in the public sphere that has to do with the resignation letter of the Chief Prosecutor of the Republic of Liberia, Cllr Seaman Serena Cephas, who is also the Solicitor General. And he went ahead throwing jabs, putting the legs of the current Justice Minister, Councillor Frank Musadin, that is also part of this, and he's been the major reason why many of the cases by the government has not been won since the inception of President George Manuel Weah. What is your take owing to the fact that he's already walking away from his office after being sanctioned by the US, suspended by the president, but now putting the legs of the Justice Minister?
But, you know, it's something that I'll just look at it as, well, why is he saying this? Why couldn't you say this before the sanction came? Everybody should cry their own cry. Now we can say like right now, cry your own cry. He has to face the justice and exculpate himself from this allegation.
But earlier on, before the sanction, there have always been wars between the Solicitor General and the Justice Minister. This has not been anything in hidden. It has been an open secret that they were at war of wars.
But if that be the case, it should tell us the reason why the Justice Minister Musa Dini also should be part, and then it should be tried. Then said it because it's a Solicitor General like boss. You know what is going on. You are not there working with them. I'm not there working with them. He knows of the boss. He came out with this that they should not forget his boss. I read it. That he should not forget his boss. Musa Dini as a minister should also be sanctioned. That was about Mr. SG. Try to exculpate yourself from the issues by facing the justice. That one, do you know, even know whether Musa Dini will be among the people that are coming tomorrow? You don't know, because more name will come. And we have to take the opportunity, seize the opportunity. We have to make use of the opportunity. If all these allegations come out and we are able to put the people through the process of whether guilty or not guilty, it will help the nation. It will help the nation. But if we live as a business as usual, then will be the worst things that will happen to us again. Because the next government might be worse than that. Or if these people also are sent back again to power, it will be worse than what we are facing today. That's why I'm saying that I challenge America to continue importunating and ensuring that those allegations are proven in the court of law, that those people that will be convicted must be sentenced. And whatever the kind of ill-gotten monies or property acquired during that tenure should be seized, should be confiscated, and tend to Liberian people. We have to show example, not be talking and talking. We have to practicalize it. That's how we are commending America, but they should not just say a lot. No, they want to help us. They should, the way they say it now, all of us say, oh yeah, thank you, this and that. They should follow up until get to the end of it.
They should be prosecuted. The voice of Councillor Tola Thompson Adebaryor, head of the Regional Watch for Human Rights, and we are getting his own reaction to the thorough resignations of key officials of government. This is African Actions Network 2A Radio TV. My name is Ta Yubi Garnett. And Council, just before I leave you, is regrettably that we were informed the earlier part of this midweek morning that we lost one of the media gurus in Liberia, Antonin Philip Wisse, managing publisher of the Inquirer daily newspaper. It's a sad news for we media practitioners and media outlets in and across Liberia. But as much as possible, we have to leave you now. But let us hear from you finally, Councillor. What could be your own call to media practitioners when it comes to this issue of sanctions, suspension, resignations? There are separate media outlets across the country, and our reportage, how do you see our style of reportage since the inception of this sanction, suspension, resignation, and other key political happenings in the country? Just a caution message to we media outlets and media owners.
First of all, let me respond to the issue of my late friend and brother, Philip Wisse, which of course I knew as far back as before the war. At that time when I was also an active journalist, we were being reported together before the war. May so rest in peace. And young ones, with the living ones, I think should now begin to learn from those our past leaders. There's something to emulate about the lifestyle of Philip Wisse. He lives his life, and he tries his best. We are not saints, but he tries his best. So most of our young media practitioners, I will try to appeal to them, if I could, to say that let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Don't be a bias in your reportage. And also don't be bought over by these politicians. You have to get away from political jingoisms that will cast aspersion on your name as a journalist, because the people are looking at you. So Philip gone, you people are behind. Let the good job. Election is coming. Not everybody, you know, the politicians everywhere are, especially in Africa. They are insatiable in stealing money. They are very insatiable. Some people are preparing how to steal money right now. While we are trying to say, let this be free justice or not, this and that, they are planning. I want to go there too. What you want to do and do that? You don't want to do any changes, rather to go and steal. But the journalists, you are the mirror of the society. So you should do things in which people will be able to see how Liberia look like. So I will happen to them. I will throw it as a challenge to them. They are showing they are not biased, and they are not allowed to be bought over by the politicians. I know everybody wants to make life, they want to live good life, but my brother, good names, it's better than going there alone. I have been advocating for more than 30 years now. Do you think I cannot find something else to do? But we have a social responsibility. We have a mission. We have a mandate to serve humanity. We are subscribed to the ethic of conventions, not the ethic of responsibility. As a human advocate, that's why we are here. So all of us, it's a challenge for us.
Okay, Council, just before I leave you, Councillor Tola Thompson Adebaryor, what could be your parting comments if you made just before I say goodbye to you on this
Thank you so much.
Interview?
I just want Liberian people to understand something, that Liberia is one of the richest countries. It's not how to put it. How to put it? It's not exaggeration. How to put it? It's not something that I'm saying it to make of it good. You can see it. Or you can see that Liberia is rich. But why are we? I used to have a program on environmental education and social economy right. Signboard and newsletter are published in those days. You see, rich Liberia, poor Liberians. Why? Rich Liberia, poor Liberians. Why? The nation is rich, but the people are poor. Why? Nobody want to do something straight. Why? That's how kept us downward today. They were brought about 14 years civil war. So we didn't learn any lesson from the war. We have to change. Election coming again. I said it before. I said, do not elect a state politician in power. Do not put them on state politician. Don't put them in power. I said this several times in different newspapers. You can see over in our book. So I want to repeat it again now. Think twice. When because of free cup of red, they will get to you. T-shirt, they will get to you. You suffer. Your children, your generation will suffer it. That's think twice. These people, some of them arose. They didn't come and do anything good. They came to steal, to destroy. So be one again. Be one again.
Be one again, be one again. The voice of Councillor Tola Thompson Adebaryor, head of the Regional Watch for Human Rights here in Liberia. And many thanks to all of you that followed this broadcast, those that left their comments, those that shared the broadcast. Let me say thanks a million. Always follow African Actions Network 2A Radio TV. And we are still moving around across Liberia, getting reactions from Liberians, particularly stakeholders, regarding the recent resignation of key government officials from the CDC-led government. But until then, my name is Ta Yubi Garnett. I have been here interviewing Councillor Tola Thompson Adebaryor, and let me say rest in power to our media guru, Anthony Philip Wissel, commonly known as Gina, as he was popularly called. Let me say rest in power. Liberia indeed has lost a media veteran. But until next time, do have yourself a wonderful rest of the May week. And many thanks to Patience Blay Atto, sorry for the tongue twisting earlier on, who sat at control, handling the technical aspect of this coverage from the United States of America. Until then, do have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of this wet May week from the city of Monrovia.